This going. So again, we're here for those of you just coming on the line. We are here today to talk about generating leads like a rock star, and thank you for all of you that are already on the line. Before we get started with a few practical issues, I did send out a link, which you can see hopefully in the chat area of your control panel on the GoToMeeting software, with a lead generation kind of note-taking worksheet. If you're listening to this as a recorded webinar, then you can that will also be projected at the bottom of your screen, and you can go there and download the companion worksheet for the webinar that we're going to begin right now. So thank you very much. It would be really, really helpful to me, for those of you that are on the call live, if you could just confirm for me that you can see my entire screen and also that you can hear me okay. So I'll wait to hear from you. I see that. Thank you. Thanks, Gloria. Thank you, Mary. Great. Awesome. For those of you coming on the line, and thank you. Thank you. So, and I just also confirm with me that you can see that link in the chat area for those of you that need that to download that worksheet. Now I'm going to get awesome. Everyone's saying yes, 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 yes. Thank you. When I do a webinar, I get real anxious that I'm just staring at a computer screen in a room by myself. So I'm very, very grateful to those of you who interact with me and make comments and tell me things and ask me questions as we go. Because can you imagine, just like you, I'm sitting in a room. I just look more crazy because I'm talking to myself. So thank you again for those of you that are interacting with me, saying hello, things like that. For those of you just coming on the line, please check the chat area, and you can download a copy of the webinar note-taking worksheet that you can use if you're interested in doing that to follow along. I'm going to just switch this into the full mode. So, okay, so as we've already discussed, and you know why you're here, we're going to talk about generating leads like a rock star. Who the heck am I? I know a lot of you on the call, so I'm grateful to see your names here, and thank you for stopping by. This is me. If you've never seen me before, if you don't know me, my name is Melissa Zavala. I'm a broker, and I'm also a writer and a speaker. And I'm formerly an English teacher. I've had a strange change or course of events in my life that has tumbled me or snowballed me or dropped me into the field of real estate. But I was a high school English teacher and a college professor, and I did a lot of writing and editing for educational textbooks for a long period of time in my younger years. But somehow I landed in real estate, and my passion is sharing all the wonderful ways to do things to make your life easier so that you can make lots of money. And it thrills me to no end when people see success from the things that I've shared with them. So I hope that you get a lot of those tips, some tips here today that can get the ball rolling or just give you a new idea, something that you can try to build your business. And these are some places that you can find me if you ever need me. I am in San Diego County, so if you're actually going to call me, keep in mind if you're on the East Coast that there is a 3-hour time difference, and if you're in Hawaii, of course, you're even 3 hours behind us. So that's my email, my Twitter handle. You can find me on Facebook. You can also read my articles on the American Genius, Real Uoso, and Trulia, where I've just started writing for their Trulia Pro blog. I do have 3 companies, so maybe I've crossed paths with you there. One is a brokerage, independent brokerage with 2 branches called Broadpoint Properties, and then Short Sale Expediter, which is a short sale processing company, which I've been running for 6 years. We've closed nearly 2,000 short sales for agents throughout California, and we provide transaction compliance services through Transaction 911 for agents in California. And I love technology. So anyway, here we go. That's me. Let's get this going. Okay, what really has intrigued me, since I just said I love technology, is the fact that there was a report done fairly recently, within the last 6 months, by Oxford University, these gentlemen named Frey and Osborne, and what they said is that 50% of the U.S. workforce will be, their jobs will become computerized or automated in the next several years. And specifically, they studied 702 jobs or careers in the United States. Now, of course, they're in England, so isn't it interesting that they're analyzing the United States? But what they found was loan officers, see this at the top of the list? Automation probability of a loan officer, that is the probability that a loan officer's job will be automated in the future, is 98%. So if there are any loan officers on the line, can you believe that? 98% chance that your job is going to be automated. It is slightly better, according to Frey and Osborne and Oxford University, for real estate professionals. For real estate professionals, what they say is that the probability of automation is 86%. That's still not so good. If you're like a massage therapist or a yoga therapist, or if you're a chiropractor, the probability that your job is going to be automated is less than 1%. So you can see the difference in those kinds of jobs. There are certain jobs that they feel can be automated, and those where you actually touch people, physically manipulate them in some way, even like a manicurist, less than 1% automation. So what the heck does this have to do with lead generation, right? Why am I telling you this? And I mean, if I was you, I'd be wondering the same thing, but it has quite a bit to do with lead generation, because now that you know that your job could be computerized in the next coming years, you've got to think, I need to do something different to generate leads, because I am constantly fighting with or competing with the computer. So you've got to kind of retrain your mindset to keep that in mind. You are competing with the computer and automation. So what you do and how you generate leads, you've got to be different and strategic in doing that. And I'm going to go through a number of things that you can do to be strategic and different. And then in 2 weeks, if you can come back and come on the line again, I'm actually going to show you what to write and how to write it, or what to film and how to film it, in order to use those strategic and creative strategies that will allow you to be competitive against this probability that your job is going to be, 86% chance it's going to be gone. But so to generate leads in today's market, where we're constantly competing with this automatic stuff, this automated stuff, you need to show the public that you have value. Which, by the way, if you've downloaded the worksheet, and for those of you that are still coming on the line, you can see in the chat area the link to download the worksheet if you haven't done so already. Anything in light blue, you can write that in. I've got that little worksheet so you can kind of follow along, which is why certain words are in light blue. So you need to show the public, the world, that you provide value. I was watching a training yesterday which talked a lot about offering free CMAs. We've been able to do that. We've been doing that for years and years and years. Real estate professionals, if you're on the call and you've been in the business 10, 20, 30 years, hey, call me for a free CMA. It was all over your marketing materials. The sad truth is that there are so many places online where you can get a free comparative market analysis, or a free home value, or a free investigation, that you need to think of other ways to provide value now because of that. So I want just think about that, and we can talk about some of those other ways shortly. So in this changing world, again, we've kind of already talked about, you need to show that you have value through manipulation. Now, as a real estate professional, you're not going to be doing any pedicures. You're not going to be cracking people like a chiropractor. And again, those are less than 1% chance of automation. But as a real estate professional, what you really can provide is a smooth navigation of a very, very difficult process. So how can your marketing materials, how can your lead generation show that you can manipulate difficult situations or navigate them with grace, style, and finesse? So that's how you can use manipulation, as opposed to the other examples with those jobs that are less than 1% chance of automation. Creativity. And we can talk about all sorts of ways that people are being creative in their marketing. It's about not doing the same thing as everybody else, maybe doing the same thing, but tweaking it to put in your personality. And that's really important if you want to stay relevant in a changing marketplace where you're competing against so much automated stuff. And then social perception. Very, very important that you continue to align yourself socially. As you know, social media is all the rage, being like Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, I don't even know, Pinterest, Twitter, Reddit, Tumblr, I can't even say them all, YouTube, but all of these places you have to make social connections with people. I think it's never been more important than now for your picture to be everywhere because people feel they know you better when they've seen your picture. So for those of you that came on early in the call, you already saw my picture. You know what I look like. So if you see me at Target or in the street walking around, you can say hi, you can come up to me, feel like you already know me. We already have some sort of cemented relationship. And that was really effective in generating leads. People that maybe they've connected with you on Facebook, but they've never met you in person, but they feel they already know you because they've seen your pictures of you at the car races or you wherever you are. So that social perception is really, really vital. So I'm going to go through 5 rules for kind of changing or things that you need to change and what you need to do. And that's going to take the bulk of the call today. Again, feel free to give me your feedback in the question area, but I have never seen anything better than this video for demonstrating kind of permission to change, which is what we've already talked about, is that you've got to make some changes to stay relevant. Let's check it out.
That's not good. Oh, I don't need this. I'm already late. Somebody will come. Anybody out there? Do you have a phone? No. Sorry. Somebody! Hello? There are 2 people stuck on an escalator and we need help. Now, would somebody please do something? I don't believe this. You gotta be kidding me. I'm gonna cry. Well, it's not enough left to do. Hello? Hey, don't worry about it. I'll fix it in a second. He said he could fix it. All right. All right. That's more like it. He says he can fix it. Life is good when I see the sunlight in the morning. Lying in my bed, it's Monday 10 a.m. Walk across the room and open up the window. Feel the pressure and the sunlight in my face. Life is good. So, for those of you that got a chuckle out of this, it obviously is a very, very funny video. It really is about heart healthiness and nutrition, but I have personally never seen a more powerful video that shows sometimes how clear the path is to change, but how stuck in our ways we may be. But with our real estate. So for example, that may include, you have to get up an hour earlier. How clear and easy it is to set your alarm clock an hour earlier in order to do X, Y, and Z activities. But for some reason, you just don't do it.
It's just like how at the beginning of every year, we all say we're going to lose 5 pounds, 10 pounds, whatever our goals are. And then for me, by week 3, I'm already eating brownies. So it's kind of all of that. But this is just a wonderful example of sometimes how clear the path is to change, but some people that just can't see the forest for the trees. So I thought that was really, really great example of that. And I like to start with that to get you thinking about what simple and easy solutions you can take and implement today when we get off this phone call that will change the way you do business and help you generate some leads. And if you can find one little thing, just one little thing that you do today and you begin to do, you may see great success in that. That's one thing that you didn't do. You've taken action, which clearly those people didn't on that escalator. So there are reasons that people don't change. Now, not only does this apply to you as a real estate professional, but I want you to think about why people, for example, consumers, buyers, and sellers, how this relates to hiring a real estate professional. So, for example, why are they always calling the same person over and over that hasn't, that helped them several years ago, but maybe is not even online or is not keeping up or only works 2 hours a week, whatever. But people, not only reasons that keep you from changing how you do lead generation, but reasons that people don't change who they hire or what they're doing to find a real estate salesperson. These are the same reasons, which is time. So we always say we don't have time or we don't have money, right? Now, money could, with regard to hiring real estate professionals, sometimes consumers are going to go for the cheapest thing, and we can talk all day about how the cheapest thing is not necessarily the best thing, and what those kind of those brokerages that cut their fees, how they change the industry, and we can debate that until till sun goes down. But time and money do impede not only our ability to change, but why people hire certain real estate professionals. So you can say, well, I don't have any money, so I can't do anything to change what I'm doing in my business. Well, today I'm going to tell you some free things that you can do, so money's not going to be an excuse. Time may be an excuse, but for you, money won't be an excuse today. Health. Now, sadly, I can't make the world change. So some people's health does get in the way of them changing and being able to do certain things. If you have carpal tunnel syndrome, using a computer is difficult, excuse me, or if you have some other health issues that may take you to the doctor, that could impact your time. Supplies, maybe you don't have the right tools, and we're going to talk about tools a little bit later. And skills. I'm going to give you some skills, and you can visit me ongoing on my website and join these webinars where I'm going to continue to give you some little power skills that will help you build your business. And support. And I'm going to give you here some support as well. And then later I'm going to tell you about the solution to all your problems, which is extremely affordable, which is the virtual assistant. And I have found that the virtual assistant is really a great way to offload some of the things that take a lot of time and impede me from doing my money making activities, but are also important money making activities as well. So we're going to talk about that briefly in a little while. But what keeps people from being willing to change? Emotions, personal rules, and confidence. So I'm here to tell you, if I can do this, anyone can do it. I used to be an English teacher, and here I am talking to you about lead generation. I was able to create a company that has helped agents close thousands of short sales. So if I can do it, you can do it. But think again about getting buyers and sellers and attracting buyers and sellers. Everyone seems to hate a salesperson. I'm sorry, it's true. Think about when you go into a store to purchase clothing and people come up to you and they say, "Can I help you?" What do? You usually say you don't need help, right? So maybe that's a lie. So people are probably home buyers and home sellers may say they don't need help when they actually do. So you've got to get under their skin in such a way that they feel comfortable connecting with you and telling you the truth. Sometimes when I go into a store, 3 or 4 people ask me if I want something, and I just go because I need like a mental break from working, and I just want everyone to get away from me. So what could those people do to get under my skin in order to effectively sell me something. Same kind of thing applies here. So understanding your target market. Now, I thought this was really, really clever. I didn't invent it myself. I heard buyers and sellers listen to the same radio station. Maybe you've heard this before. It's WIFM, What's in It for Me. So all the buyers and sellers care about, those people, that's just like me when I'm walking through that store looking at stuff and I don't want to be bothered. All I want to know is what's in it for me. So all of your marketing materials, your lead generation materials need to tell buyers and sellers, whoever you're targeting, your target market, what's in it for them. So specifically, and I'm going to give an example from the distressed property market because it seems to be the clearest and most obvious to me. There was a time a few years ago when Bank of America was offering short sale sellers up to $30,000 of incentive to sell their home. So that was the most effective marketing piece ever. Mailing. Did you know that you may be able to get up to $30,000 if you sell your home as a short sale? Of course. What's in it for the buyer? They're going to list their home and they're going to get 30,000 bucks and they're going to get rid of a terrible problem, which is that they're upside down and maybe missing some mortgage payments. So what's in it for home buyers and sellers now? Why do they need to help you? What can you put in your marketing materials which will offer some value, which will make them call you? These marketing materials are not the place to say, I went to Harvard University, I speak 3 languages fluently, I have 67 designations, I'm green, I'm E-Pro, I'm this, I'm that, I have a master's degree, a bachelor's degree, whatever it is. That's not stuff that they care about yet. So right now, your initial pieces really need to consider what's in it for me, me being your prospective target home buyers and home sellers. And that's a piece what I'm going to get into with some very concrete examples in the webinar in 2 weeks. But I want, if you're working on something, if you're putting out a postcard, if you've got sent something to the printer, make sure it clearly kind of addresses the benefits that the home buyer or seller or your target person will receive if they call you. And that's what makes the phone ring or the emails come in. So rule 2, focus on process, not outcome. The minute we get totally obsessed with how much money we are going to make or whether this is going to succeed or not, then we are not focusing on the process. Processes are what make success. It could be setting some time to do something specific or doing the same mailing campaign over and over, but those are the processes that you need. Now, my greatest example of a really effective process is someone, I'm going to call her the Queen of Craigslist, and she's out of Alaska. And she was on Craigslist every day with, I believe, a virtual assistant or an assistant, and they had 200 to 300 ads on Craigslist every single day. And that phone was ringing and ringing and ringing with leads or email with leads and also building traffic to her website. Now, we do know what happened to Craigslist and that they have some changes. For those of you that don't know this yet, they do have some changes to what they let you do and how the links work when you put ads on Craigslist. But that process so for the Queen of Craigslist in Alaska, that process of having those 200 to 300 ads on Craigslist every day, that process made the phone ring. So whatever your process is, you do it every day, every day, every day, every day, every day, and the phone will ring. You can't just do it 5 days and say, it didn't work, I'm done, I'm trying something else. I have been, for some of you that are on this call, you've been receiving my weekly newsletter for 5, 6, maybe even 7 years. So I do a weekly newsletter. For anyone that's on the call, you're welcome to sign up for it on my website. But those people, and sometimes I don't hear from people, but I know a guy that I met him in person. He signed up for my newsletter in 2009. He started giving me business in 2013. So that was that process, and the lead came much, much later. So really, really focus on that and figure out what it's going to be when you lead generate and stick to it. Don't give up. And then, of course, knowing your tools. I have heard that the people that use Microsoft Word really only use 10% of the features of the program. But if you knew all the features that it had, they could probably save you tons and tons of time. Another example is that the other day, one of my friends told me, and I haven't even figured out how to use this yet, and message me or tell me in the chat area or in the question area how to do this if you know. If you have an iPhone, you can enable location reminders, and so then you can record, remind me to call Melissa when I get to work. So when I walk into work, it's going to remind me to call Melissa. So that's a tool I didn't even know existed. One of the gazillion features of the iPhone that I don't even know how to use yet. But can you imagine all of these features, all of these tools, all of these components of the tools that can really save us time and make our life easier if we just took the time to use them? So whatever tools you're going to select and you're going to start to use, you should really know them and take time to learn them, whether by watching YouTube videos, taking classes, things like that. One of my favorite tools is Evernote. And I love how you can do practically everything related to real estate out of Evernote. And it syncs with your iPhone, with your iPad, and on your computer. So if you've got something there, it's just really, really effective. And you can even do transaction coordinating out of Evernote. It's just amazing. You can share folders with buyers. You can record things. You can take pictures. So it's a great opportunity and it's a great tool. And it's free, or the annual fee, I think, is $45. So really, really cool. But anyway, whatever it is, know and use your tools, and that will help your lead generation move along more effectively. So the next thing is the thing we're going to spend a lot more time on, which is diversification. In lead generation, online specifically, well, all sorts of lead generation, but more so online, you need to be everywhere. We talked about how you're competing with this fact that our workforce is going to be automated, 86% probability that your job's going to be automated. So you need to take some time to be able to compete with that automation by doing lots of different things. But remember, our problem is, and I just said it again, you need to take time. And we often, we often have problems with the fact that we don't have the time. So I'm going to provide you a solution for the time problem shortly. But the one thing we need to do is we always need to be working a neighborhood farm or advertising it to a neighborhood farm. So you could do a garage sale, whatever you want to do, you've got to want to have your neighborhood farm area. And it probably should be an area where there is lots of movement in the real estate market. So you can go on the MLS and you can kind of see, if you haven't picked one yet, what areas are there a lot of movement? I live in a neighborhood, which is a small little neighborhood. It's got a gate and there's 19 houses. Not so much movement there. Not going to be a big place where I would want to have a neighborhood farm. Now, of course, I want people to know me so that they call me there, but I want to go to a neighborhood where people are always buying and selling, so that I know that there's always activity and I can get in on it. And then you want to work your personal database, your sphere of influence. So you've got to use a CRM or some sort of tool for doing that. You've got to market to those people. And then the referral database. So who are you going to contact for strategic alliances? I know an agent, and he is the king of strategic alliances. He has a car collection, so one of his greatest sources of referrals is his mechanic. So he's always uses the same mechanic for his cars. He's got an upholstery guy. I think he's done about 5-6 deals just with a strategic alliance with the upholstery guy. He's got, so his little referral database, or his little strategic alliance referral network, involves a lot of his car people. He's also got an accountant, an attorney, different people like that. So just strategic alliances and referral databases. If a title representative wants your business, or if a lender wants your business, that's great. But what can you do mutually? What can they give you leads? Or is it just going to be a one-way street where you give them leads? So talk to those people before you make those strategic alliances, because you want someone that's going to give you a few leads a year, right? Because you want to close some decent deals this year. Social networking. So with regard to diversification, you want to be on the social networking sites. There are lots and lots of them. If you're not sure where to begin, or if you're just starting, I would go back to my LinkedIn profile. If you don't have one yet, I would create one. And if you do have one, then why don't you read through the bio and make sure it's up to date and update your picture. Use a picture that really looks like you right now. Or in California, lots of real estate professionals, or certain era of real estate professionals, seem to have photos and they looked a lot younger. So it's nice to be able to, biggest compliment I can receive is when someone says you look just like your picture. So that means I'm doing my marketing right. So you want to be on Facebook, you want to be on LinkedIn, and if you can handle a third one, you're going to want to get on YouTube. Then Instagram, if you want to target the 35 and unders, Instagram seems to be the way to go. So we can talk a lot more about what to say and what to do there at that webinar in just a few weeks. Blogs. I am a huge fan of blogs. Of course, I think video, probably more people watch video than read the blogs anymore, but blogs create trust. So if you're not a writer, this is something that you're going to want to outsource to a virtual assistant. And I'll give you some sample ideas and topics for stuff like that. But you definitely, that's what the blog does. The blog builds trust. So that people have read the blog post, the article online, they already, you've kind of validated yourself. You've shown them that you know what you're talking about. So when the phone rings or when you receive the email, you're hired. You don't have to go and be vetted, and there's not 3 or 4 listing agents fighting or competing for the same listing. The blog builds trust and generally cements the hire. And that's happened to me countless times, where people call me and they say, I read an article that you wrote, I want to hire you to negotiate my short sale or to list my property. We can a lot of times we've even done it over the phone. Sometimes I don't even go to the property. I send a photographer to the property, things like that. So that's how much trust a blog can build. So keep that in mind. And that can be a whole 3 or 4 classes on deep on how just to do that. But you've got to pick some things that you're not doing. So one thing that you're not doing, or 2 to add to your bag of tricks to generate some more leads this year. Videos. YouTube is, if you check Alexa, that's the ranks of all of the websites in the whole wide world. YouTube is number 2 in the United States, that after Google. So people are going on Google and on YouTube to search for things. And if you're doing videos, you want to keep them under a minute or around a minute, maybe not more than 2 minutes at the most. I was told that people will click away from your video if it's not enticing within the first 6 seconds. So think about what's going to be in that first 6 seconds and make it interesting so that people stay on the video. But get those videos up there on YouTube for your local communities, for your neighborhood farm. People that search by the name of a neighborhood are much far deeper in the home buying process than people that are just searching by city name. So for example, I'll just, if you're searching San Diego homes for sale or Ocean View homes in San Diego, that's someone that just says, oh yeah, I want to buy in San Diego, and I want to be near the ocean. But if you said something like Encinitas Ranch homes for sale in the search, obviously less people are going to be searching for that, but those people have already decided that they want to live in Encinitas Ranch. So who are you fishing for? People that are hungry, ready to bite? Or are you just throwing out, your fishing lure into a pond where people aren't very interested, they've already eaten? So just think about that when you're creating your videos. You want to be real neighborhood specific. Same with the blog posts. And if you're working on a neighborhood farm, write them about your neighborhood farm. So then when they're showing up on, number 1 on YouTube or number 1 on Google, you can advertise that to home sellers that are going to want to hire you to sell their home. You can say, I can get your home on Google on page 1. And this is how you do it. So that works really, really well. Review sites. Review sites, if I had to pick one thing to work on when I left this call today and I had a little bit of time, I would seriously look into review sites. I actually, if you've seen I guess it was the Realtor magazine. I don't think it was 30 Under 30. One of the women on the 30 Under 30 was someone that called me a few weeks ago for some advice. And I didn't realize she was on the 30 Under 30 till I saw the magazine afterwards. And she told me that she was the buyer's agent for a listing agent up in Northern California that did $67 million in deals last year. She, the listing agent, and an assistant. $67 million. They did about 65, 66 deals. Obviously, if you're familiar with Northern California, properties are about $1 million each. So where did you get all the leads? Yelp. They got all the leads on Yelp. I want you to close your eyes right now and think about when you went on Nordstrom.com or Zappos or wherever you shop. And guys, I'm sorry, I don't know where guys shop online. I don't know, eBay, and you read the reviews and the comments before you purchase. You know, you're reading, do the pants run tight? Do the shoes run small? Are they comfortable? And that fuels your decision. So the power of Yelp and review sites to get people to pick up the phone and call you right now is huge. It is bigger than anything else. Amazon, perfect example. If you have good reviews on Amazon, people will buy your book, things like that. So think about that and think about one review site. Google has a review site. You can do Google Places or you can do Yelp. I've got a list actually coming. We'll talk about that in just a minute. Referral sites. Okay, people complain about I'm sorry. That's Craigslist. Referral sites would be like databases like Craigslist or any other ones that can push leads to your website and give you more leads. We're going to talk about those in just a minute. I was confusing them with syndication sites, and I'm going to talk about those. Organic search is big. I've kind of already talked about it, but you want to work on that with your lead generation, and that's that keywords that I was talking about. Picking neighborhoods. In addition to the fact that buyers who search for specific neighborhoods, real specific search terms, are more interested, it's much easier to rank on the search engines, Yahoo, Bing, and Google, for those more specific terms. You have less competition. We can again do a whole class about that and how to figure out what those terms are. But in general, it's called the long tail if you want to Google it. And it's a book by Chris Anderson, and it talks about semantic searches. People, imagine how many people already put San Diego homes for sale, like how many agents have that as their main search term. So much competition for that. But then when you put those little itty bitty neighborhoods, very few people compete for that. And that makes it easier for you to get to page one. People only look at page one of Google. They never, barely ever go to page two. You want to be in the organic search, meaning the non-pay-per-click. And then, of course, it doesn't hurt to be in the pay-per-click also. So if you have a marketing budget and you want to do some lead generation, there's pay-per-click advertising. I can give you all sorts of tips about that, how to do that. You create these landing pages, you advertise pay-per-click. So then when people put in San Diego homes for sale, you're showing up either in the sidebar or at the top. That's kind of the yellow section. They click there, they go to your website. That costs. And you can actually do pay-per-click on Facebook as well. So it's something to think about. That's a lot of fun. If you go to the facebook.com/ I think it's manage ads or ads, you can see how many people are on Facebook. And then you can say, well, I want to market in, I'll just give you like Carlsbad, California. People who live in Carlsbad, California, men and women. It sometimes asks if they're single or married. You can pick that or not. Then you can put the age group. Well, first-time home buyers, average age according to the National Association of Realtors is 31. So I want to market maybe to first-time home buyers on Facebook. So I'm going to mark maybe 27 to 35. And it will condense and show me how many people live in Carlsbad, California that are also in that age group, single or married, however I want to do it. So that's a lot of fun to kind of play with. You will be amazed how many people you can market to. And you'll be in the sidebar on there or in the news feed, depending on what you pick. And again, we can talk about that. That's a whole class as well. But pay-per-click is something that's available to you. So these are all different things that are available to you with lead generation. and much, much more. Now, I didn't say the syndication sites, but I'm going to mention that since I started to talk about it. Of course, you can do Zillow and Trulia and pay for premier advertising. I'm going to get some hate messages right now. I know it in the question area. People don't always like doing that. And again, I did tell you I am paid to write for Trulia in their pro blog, but I'm not advocating them necessarily. I know that the data is not always accurate on these sites, but there's one thing that you need to understand. I talked about Alexa ranking. Zillow is 41 in the United States. That means of the gazillion, million, jillion, I know none of those are words except for million, maybe gazillion. Zillow ranks 41 in traffic for the entire United States. And Trulia also ranks under 100, I believe 96. So people are going there to look for homes. So you need to, again, be where people are hungry. So I would, if you've got a little budget and if you want to explore that, I just suggest that instead of saying how much you hate it or how it's ruining your life, think about the fact that in that automated world, they're already hitting the mark and doing it right. And you need to be there and you need to be kind of embracing the change, whether you like it or not. I mean, there's not enough people resisting it, I think, to make a change in the fact that people are going to go to those sites no matter what. So it's something really to think about, not necessarily where you want to spend your money, but at least think about the fact that if people are going to Zillow and Trulia, and you know that they are with those ranks, you need to know how to deal with it when they call you on the phone and they say, but Zillow says my house is worth 1.1, and you know in your head it's only worth 839. So you need to have your systems in place, your um, your scripts ready to deal with the seller stalls and objectives that come from that. I think it will help you to be a better agent. Cream rises to the top. It will really raise the bar. But knowing that people go there, whether the data is inaccurate or not, you need to know that somehow that needs to be a part of your lead generation campaign. So we were going to talk about review sites a little bit. Yelp was one of them. We already talked about that. Searching for shoes. People are always looking for the best restaurants. So you really, really want to be there. Google reviews, also really great. First thing with Google, and this kind of relates to social media as well, if you haven't created your Google Plus page, that's the first thing that you need to do because it all ties in. When you're on Google Plus, you're always going to rank better on Google. Google likes when people do stuff on Google. And with Google being the #1 search engine in I think the world, and definitely in the United States, you definitely want to be there. I'm sure you do. City Search is another great place for reviews, and you can be seeking reviews from past clients, from colleagues, from affiliates. Angie's List, a little less popular, but I'm sure you've heard of it. And YP.com is the automated, the online version of the Yellow Pages. You're going to focus on two. You want to focus, of course, start with these two up here, and then you can work on these later. But review sites, again, are where you want to be. If you can control the kind of reviews that you're going to get, obviously more favorable reviews are better, but if you get a bad one, that's okay. Nobody's perfect. Everybody knows that. You can't be everything to everybody. And it does kind of show more transparency and is very natural. So if you have 5 great reviews and 1 negative one, I don't think that's going to sway someone from calling you. And Yelp does give you the opportunity to respond to those reviews. So if you get a really bad one, and I had a friend that got some strange review, I think she got a call off of Zillow when she was driving. I think this was the story. And they wanted to know the rent on a property in her territory, but it wasn't her rental. And so she said, like, I'd have to get back to you. I'm driving. I'd have to look it up for you. And the lady the caller was not in a particularly good mood. She didn't understand that wasn't that person's listing, and then immediately went and wrote a scathing review on Yelp. So she had the opportunity to respond and say, you called me when I was driving, I always XYZ. So she did respond. And so you can see those responses in Yelp, how the company is addressing certain kinds of things. So that's a good thing about Yelp. And again, There are a lot of little unique things you need to do to get on Yelp. You've got to create your personal profile before you create your business profile. But remember, 67 million, I told you that already, so you know that there's opportunities for you there. I'm just going to briefly wipe through these because we don't have that much time left, but we've got Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Google+, Pinterest, and YouTube. You can pick which ones you like, which ones you don't like. These are places that people are connecting. Social is important if you're going to stay relevant. So you've got to be in some of these spots. For me, I do Facebook, LinkedIn, and that automatically feeds to Twitter and Google+. I'm not on Pinterest. I think I have a membership, but I just go on there to look at crafty things. I think the market for Pinterest is a little bit different. People going on Pinterest are it's more female dominated, and people that are crafty, you know, like decorating homes, more kind of a ladies who lunch kind of site. So if that's your target market, then it would be great to create some folders of beautiful homes, beautiful things in your beautiful neighborhood on Pinterest. And of course, video is great, great, great opportunity. I can show in a few weeks, I'll show you how to create one marketing video in that YouTube in our call that will really get you on YouTube for the very first time. And then you can go on your own from there. Instagram, we talked about that. And then the referral sites. So we talked about syndication sites already. We talked about paid lead generation sites. And Craigslist, I just want to bring up Craigslist because I did say that the algorithm changed. Oh, and the one thing I wanted to say is the reason diversity is so important. And remember I talked about the queen of Craigslist earlier from Alaska. Poor thing. She had all her eggs in the Craigslist basket. And then several months ago, for those of you that follow Craigslist, they all of a sudden went boom and they changed what they were doing. So she was creating these really dynamic ads with all sorts of links to her website. So she was getting people over to her website where they were searching for homes, searching for homes, searching for homes. She was getting tons of traffic on her website, tons of calls, tons of leads. And then boom, Craigslist changed it so you cannot put in a link that you can, a clickable link that goes to your website anymore. And so she had to immediately change her strategy. When you diversify, like on that chart I showed you, that orange chart with all those arrows and all those different things that I just went through, if you do more than one, if one thing goes away, you can still be in business. That's like how they always say if you have multiple deals in your pipeline, if one falls through, at least you still have got several others going on. But if you only have one deal in your pipeline and then it falls through, of course, you're thinking, how am I going to pay my mortgage next month? Same thing with your marketing. You've got to do a handful of things so that if one fails you, because you don't own these systems, you don't own Craigslist. You don't own Google. You don't own YouTube. You don't control what happens on those sites. So if they change the way they do business and that's all that you have, they're not going to call you first and check with you. So you've got to have multiple things going on. So now same, I'd like to just, I don't think I have a slide about this, but I'd like to just pose this thought right now about your website. And we didn't talk about having a website for lead generation, but that's a big, huge conversation that we could have. And websites are really, really great. If you have a website, I encourage you to think about who hosts the website and what will happen if the hosting company disappears. If that's your only lead generation, that website, and that hosting company disappears, what will you do? Can you control it? So a lot of very tech savvy agents are doing things with WordPress because they have total control of the website. So instead of using a company that creates real estate websites, and there are many beautiful ones and many wonderful companies that do that, if you want to have more control, then you might want to do it on your own so that if the company goes kaput, kind of like the Craigslist thing changed all of a sudden, you still have that thing working for you instead of having to rethink your whole campaign. And so we talked about the new Craigslist guidelines. Now, with the new guidelines, if you're still working Craigslist, I think it is still a valuable tool for getting people to contact you. You're really going to have to focus a ton on magnetic headlines. So if you want to go, copyblogger.com has a wonderful article where they give you 10 sample magnetic headlines. So if you type in copyblogger.com plus magnetic headlines in the Google search bar, then that should pop up. You can download it. And when you're doing your Craigslist ads, use headlines like the ones that they've studied, that they show are strategically going to get people to open your ad. So you definitely want to take some time. And again, we can talk about that more when we're talking about how to create, what to create, and what to write in a few weeks. Strong call to action. I got this postcard in the mail about 2 months ago, and I brought it to the office. Beautiful, large, every door direct postcard, just sold. I think it was just listed or just sold. And it had like a picture of the home, all the details about the home, the cost of the home. I don't know if it was the list price or the sold price. I can't recall, but it didn't tell me what to do. Beautiful picture of the agent. It did call me. I can sell yours too. Call me. I can get you the best deal on a home in your neighborhood. You've got to have a strong call to action. Just to put out a beautiful, colorful thing and not tell people what you want them to do will not make the phone ring. So rule 5, and this is our last one, is to plan ahead and stick to your plan. And this is something that I'm very strong at, but this is where a lot of agents really, really struggle. I know you're probably way more gifted at a lot of the social stuff than I am, and that's what makes you a gifted salesperson, and I'm more of an administrator, writer type of person. Sticking to the plan, peaks and valleys. John Wooden, who was a basketball coach for UCLA for a number of years, he said, all of life is peaks and valleys. Don't let the peaks get too high or the valleys get too low. So what happens is when you're in the peak, when you're closing a bunch of deals every month and your pocketbook has your bank account of tons of money in it, you forget to stick to your plan, how you got those leads, to make sure that they keep on coming in. So you've got to keep on sending out the marketing materials. You've got to keep on putting up the blog posts. You've got to keep on doing the videos so that the valleys don't get too low. So what is that going to take for you? How are you going to get organized? Is it going to involve hiring a virtual assistant? Is it going to involve some time blocking? How is that going to work for you? You need to develop a system that works for you. Now, this is a page from the Essential Daily Planner for Real Estate Agents, which is available on Amazon. It's a 6-month planner for real estate professionals where you can write in what your daily activities are. If you're someone that likes a planner that you can do, write stuff in versus going online. But that's one plan, one way to develop a system that works for you. Another is to consider trying with your time, like we said, blocking time. So if you've ever heard of the Pomodoro technique, that's a technique where you take 25-minute increments to do stuff, and then you get up. So you have 25 quiet minutes at your desk. Maybe it's cold calling, maybe it's prospecting, whatever it is. And then you get up and do something else, because what they found is if you chunk it, then you are much more focused and you get more done. And it's called the Pomodoro technique because that's Italian for the tomato minute timer. So there we go. And so that's a really, really great way to get in control and stick to your plan. And the third way is to hire a virtual assistant. I have right now 2 overseas virtual assistants. For some people, this is not something that they're interested in. And it may not work for them. It just depends on your style. But the overseas virtual assistants are very, very affordable. So remember, we talked about money getting in the way of us being able to accomplish certain things. Well, with the virtual assistant, which is $3 an hour, something like that, you can hire them to take care of some of things for you, and so they can be really generating leads for you while you're sleeping. So creating your social media profiles, doing some of your social media posting, writing blog posts for you on the topics that you assign, all sorts of things, creating slideshows, videos, uploading your MLS, whatever you feel comfortable with that you can hire out. Will not only will it create time for you and the money situation, but if you're not a tech person, if you're on this call and you're like, hoo, I actually got on to GoToWebinar successfully without any challenges. These assistants, many of them are extremely tech savvy. I was struggling with an Excel spreadsheet. I'm not super gifted in Excel. And after like 10 minutes, I said, if I send it to my virtual assistant, she'll probably have it done in 3 seconds. And I don't know how long it took her. I just got it. I sent her the instructions. I told her what I wanted. I had it back beautifully the next day when I needed it. And I think it probably would have taken me 3 hours, but it was 3 hours that I now could spend doing something else. So I'd really encourage you to consider the benefits of hiring a virtual assistant overseas, or there are many in the United States. Of course, you've got a cost issue, so you're going to have to make a decision about whether you want someone local that you can speak with on the phone when you're both awake, same time zone, something like that, versus overseas. Overseas, you can have them work, when you're awake, or I elect to have them work when I sleep, so that when I wake up in the morning, the work is already done. So those are the kind of things that you want to consider, especially if you're technology challenged or time challenged. This will solve lots and lots of your problems for you. But your lead generation and marketing system must demonstrate, remember, your ability to navigate, your uniqueness, and your ability to enhance a person's experience through social connections. Remember, at the beginning of the call, we talked about how your job days may be numbered and your job may be automated in the near future. 86% probability of that. If you want to compete, you need to show your value versus a computer through your lead generation and marketing materials. And I've already teased it a few times. In a few weeks, I can get really detailed and give you some very specific examples of marketing materials that do that. But in the meanwhile, I really wanted to plant a seed that you can do things today, small things that change what you're to change your activities that will generate leads. So what one new thing can you implement today? Okay, Susan says she's going to do Yelp. She already told me that a few minutes ago. If you've got something that you can do today, one change, let me know. Okay, Denise says she's going to start. Where can she start to blog? That's a good question. There are all sorts of places that you can blog. If you have a website, you can create a blog on your website. Lots of people start with Active Rain because I think they have a free trial or some deal going on right now. But the good thing is you're not vested in that. Like if you don't like blogging, it turns out it's not working for you, that you can kind of start that and benefit from the tons of traffic. They have like 300,000 members across the United States. So what happens is they're already getting tons of traffic. So if you're just writing one article, that makes your article look better to Google. So it's a good place to get started. Great question. Carolyn also said Yelp. Thanks, Carolyn. Let's look at this though. I've got 2 final tips for you. Can you believe that this is Lady Gaga? Can you believe it? Whatever you're doing when you leave the call today, this is my best advice to you. I found that it's made me completely successful. Is don't create an online brand that depends upon others. So as I mentioned to you, if you do if you hire all these other companies to do things for you and they all are gone, your online brand is gone. So that's why you need to diversify and control some of the things yourself, save some things on your computer so that you've always got something there, that you're not always depending on others. But with respect to Lady Gaga, all publicity is not good publicity. I would really encourage you to think carefully about the kind of stuff you want to put online, how much you want to talk about your religious affairs, your personal life, because some stuff can put people off. To be perfectly candid, I'm a little put off by this picture of Lady Gaga. Not all publicity is good publicity. So you want to have an image online that builds trust, because not everyone's going to have the same political affiliation as you or the same beliefs as you. So you want to just be real careful about what you're putting out there so that you're not alienating a prospective client. So for me, I wouldn't dress like this. So anyway, for those of you that are still around, lots of people still on the call, I've got a little free gift for you. If you don't already have it, you can download it right now from melissazavala.com. You can sign up. If you just put your name in the sign up area, you get this, Master the Art of Successful Real Estate Lead Conversion. It's a free ebook, 36 pages, that goes through a whole plan for converting online leads. And you also get 2 other tools for calculating your income and the number of prospects you want to call or contact every single day. So you can go online and get those. And I hope that we can stay connected. For those of you, I'd love to have you all on the call in a couple of weeks where we can, and I will show you some real materials that fall into some of these categories. Okay, you're going to LinkedIn. What are you going to do when you get there? That's what I'm going to show you in 2 weeks. You got to, you got to get on YouTube. What are you going to do when you get there? That sometimes is very, very challenging. It's like you know what to do, but you know what you need to do, but not how to do it. And that's what we're going to get into. And you can sign up for that at melissazavala.com/speaking, melissazavala.com/speaking to sign up for that. And let me know what you're doing, what you're up to. Keep in touch with me. Thank you so much for joining me on the call. I had a lot of fun talking about a lot of really cool stuff that we can be doing to generate leads. And I hope and wish you nothing but success in achieving your goals and meeting your goals in real estate. The market is beginning to normalize. We're coming off of that crazy recession, and it's nice to be able to market to all sorts of buyers and sellers and not just be negotiating, processing short sales and REOs all day. I will stay on the line and answer any questions. For those of you that are getting off the call, thanks so much for joining us. And I want to